I'm doing my material review on Days in the Life of a Social Worker. This week we had to read chapter 4, 5, and 8. Chapter 4 was the social worker in a paternal clinic, and basically what this chapter was a social worker who helps out families and couples that have problems having children. Basically, what she do, she informed them of all the options, informed them that the likelihood of even having a child from the infertility. Um, she also like discussed other options to the client, like adoption or like maybe having somebody else carry the baby. The this social worker go through a lot of different aspects because she has to ask a lot of questions and make sure it's appropriate for the setting or the situation that they're going through. For example, she had a client who husband put some of his semen in a sperm bank because he was sick at that time, and she wound up, having an affair with another guy. So during the time he was in the hospital, they had broke up, and he wound up dying. Because he died, she decided she wanted to have his baby, but because they had broken up or separated, it wasn't ethical anymore for her to be like be able to have access to his sperm. So they had to go through a whole bunch of steps and have a whole bunch of sessions just to figure out, because he was not alive. Was this was this something he wanted? Was it in his will and things like that? The next chapter was working with pregnant women in public health. Um, this chapter talks about women who basically, mm, first off, I don't know, like I had mixed emotions about this chapter because I felt like the social worker in this chapter wasn't really sensitive. Like she did a lot of um case notes that was like when I read her notes I was just like, are you serious? Um for example, she said, let's see, can I find mm, let's see. She said, building on observation, positive, biting your tongue against sharing what your instincts tell you. She came for a reason. Water that seeds you plant with her 10 months ago. I don't know. It just seemed like the social worker really wasn't like she have a case note that says gosh. Like it just really didn't seem like she was getting tired of some of her clients. But what she did was she worked with different females, um, helping them make decisions on their babies. Like this, she had a teenager, I think she was about 14, who had got pregnant by a 19, 20 year old, and this was her second child. It just seemed like she was just really like fed up with her. Like she just seemed like she didn't really want to deal with a lot of her clients. Um, I don't know. I didn't really like. I liked her job description, but I really didn't like her as a social worker. Not too much. Like I like the fact that she worked with different couples and helped them figure out, like, let's say if a client had, I think it's quintuplets, do they want to terminate two of them, or some of the options they needed to like have different kids. I don't know, but I just didn't like her as a social worker. The last chapter we had to read was chapter 8, and it's called Private Practice with Urban Gay Men with a Subspecial in HIV and AIDS. This social worker seemed to really love his job. Like, I loved his vibe. I think it's a hard job to do just because he's constantly dealing and being around people who's dying. So he's really like his clients is never really permanent, and his coworkers is never permanent. Like he talks about a lot in this chapter that he saw a lot of people come and go, and not only his clients but his um his coworkers. And basically what he does is he he's like a counselor to people who are dealing with AIDS, and um he helped he helped his clients manage and help them with treatment, and he's just there to like give an open hand. And I don't know, he seemed like a really good social worker, even though he got a real hard job. That's all the chapters we had to read in this book. Thank you. Bye.